Hey everyone, it's That Laser Cutting Guy, and in today's video we're going to make this housewarming gift that you could either put on an easel or hang on a wall. Let's get after it. Alright, so today's project I'm going to be cutting on cherry and sapele 1/8 inch. Let's go ahead and get this cut. Okay, so now that I have all the pieces cut, we're going to go ahead and put a finish just on the sapele parts to make them a little bit darker. So I'm going to do home, the states of Illinois, Virginia, and North Carolina, and of course the ring that's going to go around it all. And then I also cut out a stand just in case they want to put it on a stand instead. And this is going to go on the back. I'm actually going to have a little bit of hardware that's going to go right here in case they want to hang it on the wall. So we're going to go ahead and put that finish on, and I'll show you the finish briefly here. It's just some tung oil, just wipe on. It's actually really easy to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that set and finish the sapele pieces. Okay, like I said, all you have to do is just wipe on. So I have a cloth here, and I just put it in a cup for ease of use. All I'm going to do is dip it in and then hit the sapele pieces. The reason why I'm doing this is I just want to make sure that there's a distinct difference between the cherry and the sapele. So I want the sapele to show up a little bit darker than the cherry, just so there's some color contrast. When you are putting this on, you can go on fairly heavy, but then I would just also kind of go off on another piece of the paper, the cloth, just to get off any extra. So you can go on heavy and then wipe light. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of these. Like I said, I'm going to do all the states and then home, and you could already kind of see right here the difference. Granted, it is wet, but it's going to dry a little bit darker with the finish. And in contrast to the cherry, you can see that it's going to be much darker. So that's the kind of the contrast that I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and finish up the states. Let me get a little bit more of this. And then I will also do home and just the stands as well, just so everything is cohesive. I'm looking for pretty much 2 tones here. I've done projects with 3, but I just wanted this one just to be 2. So let's go ahead and finish this up. All right, so I wanted to talk about briefly while that's drying, because you have to let that sit just for a little bit before you start to glue it, why I'm doing this project. Like I've said in my other videos, is I typically do projects for gifts. So my closest friends have just since recently moved to North Carolina. That's why North Carolina is the biggest state there. One of them was originally from Illinois, the other from Virginia, and they just finally moved again to North Carolina, hopefully in their forever home. So I wanted to have a nice housewarming gift for them. And they work for a supplement company, and I also work for a supplement company as well, the same one. And their slogan is "Crush It." So that's kind of their mantra, if you will. And that's why I wanted to put North Carolina Crush It in their text. So I'm going to glue that to the board. And like I said before, they could either put this on the little easel that we have, or they could hang it on their wall. It's their new home, and I don't want to put them in a corner and say like, hey, you have to hang this on your wall, especially if I show up. You know, I don't know if they're going to have it up or not. But I just wanted to give 2 options just for a little bit of flexibility. So that is why I'm making this project. All right, and for branding purposes only, I'm going to embellish the back a little bit here, just so they know that it came from That Laser Cutting Guy. Pretty sweet, but like I said, I'm going to put the hardware right up top so they could hang it on the wall if they choose. Okay, now that everything's dried for the most part, I'm going to go ahead and start the gluing process. I'm going to glue this outer ring. What I'm going to be using is just Gorilla wood glue, and then it's always helpful to have these handy dandy clamps just to hold things in place. You don't want things moving around, especially when things are a little bit tight on the board. So this will help it keep exactly where I want to place it. And once you have the clamps on, you can kind of move it around just a little bit. Obviously there's going to be some excess. Just go ahead and wipe that off with a cloth, and I'm about to do that right now. All right, up next, I'm going to glue the states. So I'm just going to line the states up to where the hearts are, and then North Carolina, I'm just going to drop right in the center here. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and put home, and then crush it right here. I'm not going to film all that just for the sake of timing, but I will come back when it is all done. All right. Now that all the gluing is done, I'm just going to let that sit just for a little bit, and then we're going to flip this guy over and attach my logo so I could put the hardware on the back in case they want to hang it on their wall. Like I said, the stand is right there, slips right into one another if they just want to put it on their mantle or on a shelf. But I think it looks pretty good. All right guys, that's it. If you're interested in making projects like this to give as gifts or potentially to do for a business, you could buy yourself a Glowforge. I'll have the link to our referral link in the description box below, so you could get up to $500 off. Not only will you get $500 off potentially, but my family and I will get credits too, which we'd really appreciate. So this is That Laser Cutting Guy signing out.